Good day and welcome to AGK's Vinyl Life. I'm your host, Anthony K. And on this episode, I've got a few bits and pieces to show you. It's July 31st, the end of July, and I'm just going to show you what I've picked up over the last month and a bit in the way of used vinyl finds, a couple of new things. I've been away mostly on vacation the last 3 or so weeks. I came back to Toronto earlier this week to go to a concert, and I'll probably be heading out of town again. Not next week, but maybe the week after for a couple more weeks, and just enjoying the summer. So what I got to show you here is some things I picked up in various small towns in northern Ontario during my vacation away for the last 3 weeks, as well as things that I picked up at my favorite flea market, the fantastic flea market, Dixie Records. And there's a story there as well, because I went to Dixie Records in June and it was announced that the owner of the store, Don, would be closing his store today, July 31st, after 37 years of providing Blu-rays, DVDs, CDs, vinyl, cassettes, every form of media under the sun for the last 37 years. And I've been shopping there for a good portion of those years, and a good portion of my movie, CD, and vinyl collection comes from that fantastic flea market with probably the best prices anywhere in Toronto. It was an era. It was a fantastic era, that store. It would be greatly missed, but we'll talk about that more a little bit later. But he has had sales going on since he announced he was closing. He's been marking down all his vinyl, all his CDs, everything, his movies, to sell it all off in time for closing. So I have gone there a couple of times over the last couple of months. I went once in June, once about 3 weeks ago, just before I went on vacation here in July, and then of course I went again today. We'll start with the CDs, and just real quickly, and I like to go for best of CDs because they're great in the car, and my car has a hard drive in it, so every time you load a CD into the player, it automatically records it to the hard drive, and then you don't even need to carry the CD in the car anymore. And I've got close to 400 CDs on my hard drive in my car, so a good portion of my CD collection is in my car, so I'm always listening to my CD collection every day, 5 days a week when I work. So I grabbed a lot of best ofs, because best ofs are the best way, you know, to get all the real hits for your car. So I picked up, so these are the things I picked up at the Dixie Records in the fantastic flea market on his closing sales, and in June and the beginning of this month. And the first one is Pat Benatar, the very best of Pat Benatar. It's basically got everything you'd ever want from the best years of Pat Benatar's career. The very best of Pat Benatar, the best of Blondie. You know, this is a classic. The best of Blondie. Why not? Best of Blondie for the car. CCR, I've got this on vinyl, but great to have a copy of this on CD for the car. Chronicle, you know, this is everything you need from CCR. Chronicle. And all these CDs were, like I said, between $2 and $5, so you can't go wrong, and they're all in fantastic condition. Another one that I have on vinyl, and I actually have this on cassette as well, but why not? CD for the car. Pure Cult, the best of the Cult, that's right. Pure Cult, the singles from 1984 to 1995 by The Cult. The best of In Excess. Pretty much everything you would want from In Excess. The best of In Excess. Fantastic. I got this. This one was $5, still sealed. I have this album on vinyl. I have the deluxe version and the regular version of this album on vinyl. I don't have it on CD, so nice to have this on CD for the car. Lady Gaga, Chromatica. And this was still sealed for a grand total of $5. Lady Gaga's Chromatica, a sealed copy. Great for the car. This one, I have this vinyl box set in my collection, and I've said many times before that the vinyl box set is all I would ever want on vinyl by this band, and now I've got the CD complement to it. I'm talking Led Zeppelin, Mothership, and this is a 2 CD set, Led Zeppelin's Mothership, basically all the same stuff that's on the vinyl box set, and I picked this up for, I think this was like $8 because it was a 2 CD, but $8. It's in fantastic condition. Led Zeppelin, Mothership, So I've got everything I would ever want by Zeppelin now on my car, in my car hard drive with these 2 CDs. 2 CD set, Led Zeppelin, Mothership on CD. Another band that I always really enjoy. He played with Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band, as well as has done his solo works with the Disciples of Soul. We're talking about Little Steven and Little Steven's Greatest Hits. That's right, Little Steven's Greatest Hits. This is a UK copy, actually, of Little Steven's Greatest Hits. And 2 that I was really happy to find in the flea market. We're talking Tools and Nima. Tools and Nima with that cool lenticular cover thing, and you can change the different pages of the booklet and put them in the front. All the pages of the booklet are lenticular, so you can change how you want the cover to look. So a copy of Tool, great to have in a car, and Nima. And also from Tool, Lateralis. That's right, a copy of Lateralis. And both of these Tool albums cost me like $4. And this is in the original slipcase with the cool see-through booklet and cover. Really nice. This is my favorite Tool album of all the albums. Lateralis, Tool. Love this album. So really cool to find these for like $4 each at the flea market. And a couple more CDs here. This is the Best of Both Worlds by Van Halen, and this is a 2-disc set of everything you'd probably want from Van Halen. This does me for Van Halen. It's got both the David Lee Roth years and the Sammy Hagar years. This is complete Van Halen. Everything they recorded, like a best of their entire career. 2-disc set. I picked this one up. This was another $8 one because it was 2 discs. But $8 for this 2-disc set, you can't go wrong. $8, Van Halen, the Best of Both Worlds. And the last one I picked up from the flea market on that run is this one here. Ramones, Best of the Chrysalis Years. This was a real nice find. Ramones, Best of the Chrysalis Years. So this is all the stuff after Sire, like Mondo Bizarro, Acid Eaters, Adios Amigos, their live album, Loco Live. So really nice CD to have this. It's got classics on here, and Brain Drain's even on here. You got Pet Cemetery on here, Don't Bust My Chops. You got live versions of Sheena's a Punk Rocker, Teenage Lobotomy, Surfing Bird from that Loco Live album. Of course, you got Poison Heart from Mondo Bizarro. You got Take It As It Comes. I Want to Be Sedated, another live one. Out of Time and Somebody to Love, of course, from the Acid Eaters album. It goes through the final years of their career. Real nice little CD to have for my collection, and it really complements nicely the Ramones Mania CD that I also have on my hard drive in my car. So Ramones, Best of the Chrysalis Years. As you can see, I'm sporting a Ramones shirt today, which I'll tell you about in a minute. So those are all the CDs I picked up from Dixie Records in the Fantastic Flea Market at the beginning of July and end of June. A whole whack of them, but they're all like I said, $2 to $5 with a couple of exceptions, and great to have them all in my car, loaded into my car. And next up, I'm just going to reach over here because I left 2 over there. So next up, I'm going to show you the vinyl I got at the Fantastic Flea Market on those two occasions, real quickly. A nice greatest hits box, a nice greatest hits album. Ian Drury and the Blockheads, and Jukebox Drury. That's right, Ian Drury and the Blockheads, Jukebox Drury, with such classics on here as Reasons to Be Cheerful, Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll, Hit Me With Your Rhythm Stick. Really great best of Ian Drury and the Blockheads. And all these vinyl ones I'm showing you, these all cost me like $2 and $3. They were really cheap because everything was 50% off. So they're only like $2 or $3, all these albums, and they're in really great shape. Ian Drury. Really happy to get this next one, and really happy to get this next one. This is now my premier copy in my collection, Santana Abraxas. This is an original Canadian press. I paid a grand total of $3 for it. An original gatefold Canadian press. It is in gorgeous condition. You know, the heck with a MoFi, people. This is an original Canadian press in fantastic condition, and it was a real treat to find that inside it actually still had the original poster. That's right, the original poster was inside it in first class condition. The original poster. What a find, and I paid a total of $3 for this in the sale. I don't need no MoFi. Santana Abraxas. This is now my premiere copy of that album in my collection. Happy to find that. One split ends. Gotta have a copy of this, just for the novelty sake of it. Of course, this is True Colors, one of 4 different album covers that they had. There were different color combinations, and of course, and for those that don't know this album, you know, the big song on this Split Ends album, of course, was "I Got You," and the thing that made this album so cool was that laser etching on both sides. So just to have a cool copy, and I paid like $2 for this. $2. It's in mint condition. You know, the vinyl here is super clean, in fantastic shape. So a copy of Split Ends True Colors with that cool laser etching for $2 can't go wrong, and it's got the original inner sleeve in here as well. Split Ends True Colors. Another one here, a great local Toronto band that had a very short-lived career. I think they're actually, I think, together again, or still together or something. But this is Spoons and Arias and Symphonies. The famous single from here was a song called Nova Heart. Most Canadians will probably know this band that I'm talking about. They were very new wavy. They came up in the late 70s, early 80s, like a lot of the great new wave what's the word I'm thinking of? Electronic, new wave, dance pop, synth pop bands, probably synth pop Canadian band. Spoons, Arias, and Symphonies. Pick that one up. And an album that I thought I had in my collection, that I used to have in my collection. I only had it on CD, but an album that I'm happy to get in my collection on vinyl. Pete Townshend's musical, The Iron Man. That's right, The Iron Man, the musical by Pete Townshend, with a lot of special guests, of course, appeared on this album, such as John Lee Hooker, of course, Simon Townsend. The Who actually appeared on this album, as well as China. Nina Simone sang on this album. So a very cool. I forgot how really good this album is. And it's got the original book inside. I'm not going to pull it out to save time, but it's got the original book inside that came with the book, with the whole play and the lyrics and everything. It's got the original book. It's in fantastic condition. Sorry for not pulling these things out of their sleeves for this video, but I want to just get through these as fast as possible. The Iron Man by Pete Townshend. And I've been in a Neil Diamond mood lately. That's right. The last couple of months I've been like, you know, I've got a little bit of Neil Diamond on my iTunes, you know, streaming, and I've got, you know, a best of CD. But back in the day, I actually, you know, liked Neil Diamond when I was first getting into music. I liked the early Neil Diamond, you know, the 60s, you know, 60s, late 60s, early 70s Neil Diamond. That's about it. He had some fantastic material. And this album here I actually had on cassette tape, and it was the very first pre-recorded cassette tape I ever had in my life. I never had this album on vinyl. I only had it on a pre-recorded cassette tape, and I got that like early 70s. I'm guessing 72, 73 when I had this album on cassette tape, and I loved it, and it is my favorite Neil Diamond album for sure. So to pick up a copy of Stones at the flea market, and this is a reissue pressing. It doesn't have the fancy flip-up cover that the originals had with the embossing, but it sounds great. It's in first class condition, and I paid $1 for it. Neil Diamond Stones. I love this album. I always will. You know, not like I'm a big crazy Neil Diamond fan, but this album goes back to my childhood. Like I said, first pre-recorded cassette tape I ever had. Neil Diamond Stone. I said, last thing on my mind, Crunchy Granola Sweet. It's a classic, and of course Stones, fantastic song. So nice to have that in my collection, and it cost me $1. And the last couple from those hauls, Get the Knack by the Knack. I forgot how good this album is. You know, I used to see it at the flea market a lot, and I'd always just pass by it. But it was $1. I bought it. It's in first class condition for $1. And I forgot, this is actually a really good album. You know, besides the My Sharona, which was the big hit, there was actually a lot of really great songs on this album. I forgot how really good this album is. So Get the Knack by the Knack for also $1. And last but not least, the follow-up. People in Canada will know who the Kings were. The Kings, of course, had Switching to Glide. You know, their debut album, The Kings Are Here, was classic. This was the follow-up. It didn't do quite as well, but this one cost me $1 as well. It's the Kings, Amazon Beach. That's right, local Canadian band, the Kings and Amazon Beach. Fantastic album. Not as good as their original, but a fun spin nonetheless. And $1. $1, why not? The Kings, Amazon Beach. And those are everything I picked up in the June and beginning of July hauls from the Fantastic Flea Market in the way of CDs and vinyl. And like I said, all those vinyl records were like $1 or $2 each. The CDs $2 to $5 each. And then, of course, I've been away for the last 3 weeks, and I've been up north and enjoying cottage country. And took my daughter up for a week, and I've been up on my own as well, and just enjoying cottage country, getting away, vacationing, and enjoying life. And I told people I was taking a break, and you wouldn't see too many videos from me over the summer because I do plan on heading back up and getting into cottage country. But I've been doing, you know, a little bit of crate digging while I've been out of town. I found a fantastic store in Barrie, Ontario, that I picked some things up from. Another absolutely incredible store in Aurelia that is probably one of the best record stores I've ever been to in my life. I was blown away by how good that record store was. It's a combination of art and music store, and art being movie posters, rock posters, things like that. Absolutely fantastic store. And of course now the name of the store slips my mind. Silly me. I'll type it in below, the name of the store in Aurelia. I'll put it in down here somewhere. But I went in there with my daughter. My daughter she found some My Chemical Romance and Deftones, because she's into those bands heavily now. So she found herself a couple Deftones albums and My Chemical Romance albums. I just found a couple things in that store for me. One that's very common, but you never see it here in Toronto. It's the one Peter Gabriel solo album that you can never find used because it just goes like that. And I found a really, really nice copy of it at that store, and I think I paid $6 for this, if I remember right. No, $5 for this. I paid $5 for this Peter Gabriel Security, and as you can see, it's an original first Canadian pressing. It still has the shrink on it, although the shrink is rather destroyed, so I might peel the shrink off, but I will keep the hype sticker because it's still got the hype sticker. It's in spectacular condition. Peter Gabriel's Security, which of course had the fantastic Rhythm of the Heat, San Juanito, I Have the Touch, and of course Shock the Monkey was and Kiss of Life were big singles from this album. So nice to have this one in my collection. You never see this one here in Toronto. It's always, gone. It's probably like one of the first Peter Gabriel albums that disappears, other than like So or something. But nice to have this Peter Gabriel. Pick this Peter Gabriel album up there, and this was in, like I said, in the town of Aurelia. And also in that store, I was looking through. They have their used section, they have their new vinyl section, and they have one section that's new releases on vinyl. And this was in that section. Christina Aguilera, Stripped. This is probably, I think, her best album. This is a fantastic album. As you can see, I paid $38.99 for it. It is a 2 LP set, so $38.99 for 2 LP set is not bad in Canada. Christina Aguilera, Stripped. I haven't seen this in the city anywhere for sale, so happy to pick it up there. And a fantastic spin by Christina. This girl's got some pipes and she knows how to sing. She was always kind of overshadowed by Britney Spears because they both kind of came up together, and Brittany got the spotlight, and Christina was kind of in the background, but Christina hands down the better singer between the two, and an accomplished singer, and this album is spectacular. So happy to find this up there, a brand new release, remaster, reissue, whatever, and I found it up there, and I haven't seen it here in Toronto. $38.99 is not bad in Canada for a 2 LP set. Christina Aguilera strip, that was also in the same store in Aurelia. And then the real gem in that store was this. I have never seen this before in my life, anywhere, period. I had to look it up on the Discogs to find out the story on it before I bought it. And like I said, the store sold not only used vinyl, new vinyl, they sold cassette tapes. They had a massive cassette tapes selection, and I'm sorry I didn't pick some things up in that cassette tape section, but maybe next time I go that way. They have big CD section, movie posters, rock hats, like ball caps, and of course rock shirts, where I got this fantastic Ramones CBGB May 4th, 1978 t-shirt. You see a lot of people wearing the standard Ramones shirt with the symbol on it. This one is very cool. This is their legendary performance at CBGB's. So I got this t-shirt at that store as well. And the reason why I mentioned this t-shirt is because the last thing I picked up at this store is this box set. I had to look it up on Discogs. I'd never heard of it before. I haven't had a chance to spin it, but I did read reviews on it, and people say it sounds great. The recordings are very, very good. They are FM radio live performances, and it is the Ramones, the broadcast collection. And I paid $78.99 for this, and I'm not sorry, because it is I think it's it's a 3 LP set, in like a slip case thing with beautiful inners, and maybe down the line I'll show you guys what it looks like inside. I haven't had a chance to crack it open yet, but it's the Ramones, the broadcast collection box set. Happy to find this, being a big Ramones fan. And there's 3 separate broadcasts here, full concert broadcasts. The first one is the Eaten Alive New York 1977 broadcast on the first LP. I don't know if there's colored vinyl or anything in there. I don't think so. I think it's all black vinyl. The second LP is the Buffalo Bop, the 1979 broadcast. So you got a 1977 broadcast, a 1979 broadcast, and the last one is Pinheads in Buenos Aires, a 1996 Argentina broadcast. That's right, 1996. So towards the end of their career, like the Adios Amigos things, because you've got things like Durango on here. You've got a lot of later things on here, Rock and Roll High School, Spider-Man, Strength to Endure. So, three concerts from 3 different eras in the Ramones history in a beautiful box set. So happy to find this. I've never seen this before in my life anywhere, and to find this in a small town, Aurelia, in Northern Ontario, I jumped on this right away. Ramones, the broadcast collection. And then from Aurelia, we headed, another day we went over to Collingwood, which is another small town in Ontario. Went to Collingwood, and I found a record store there called Mad Dog's Vinyl Cafe, and just picked a couple things up there. My daughter picked up something there, but I just picked up just 2 things there. Really common things, honestly, really common things, but you don't see them here, and they were super cheap there. They were $5 each. A copy of Duran Duran's 7 and the Ragged Tiger. I do see this one here, but they normally want a lot more for this album here in the big city. So $5, and it's in first class condition. $5 for that one. And the other one I picked up there is, like, we're going Neil Diamond again, a little bit of Neil Diamond. Neil Diamond's his 12 greatest hits, the silver cover album, and as you can see, there's a Mad Dog's sticker that in there from their store, Mad Dog Vinyl Cafe in Collingwood. And this is just, a great collection of all the Neil Diamond era that I like. You got Sweet Caroline, Brother Loves Traveling, Salvation Show, Shiloh, Holly Holy, Cracklin' Rose, Play Me, all the great ones. Even got Stones on here, Sung Sung Blue, I Am I Said's also on here. But great little greatest hits album, and I paid $5 for each of these in that record store, and they're both in great condition. And that was in Collingwood. And then I headed down to Barrie with my daughter, and we hit a few record stores in Barrie. But the one that impressed me the most, run by a fellow from the UK who retired out here to Canada and decided to open a record store in Barrie, of all places. He worked for Virgin Records. He wrote for many famous UK record magazines. He knew Robert Plant very, very well, and in fact has the Led Zeppelin Presence monolith in his store on a shelf. And I was happy to be able to hold it in my hands, and my daughter, and I got a picture with me and my daughter holding the Led Zeppelin Presence black monolith. But a very cool story. He had a lot of really cool imports in it, and I'm definitely going to take a drive up to Barrie and hit his store up again. But I found a couple super common albums there that strangely were missing from my collection. At least the first one, strangely, is missing from my collection. I just about have every album these guys recorded on vinyl in my collection, except Agents of Fortune. Go figure, go figure. I don't have Agents of Fortune. I have a live version of Agents of Fortune. I have songs from Agents of Fortune on greatest hits vinyl collections. But this is one album that you just never see here because it's gone. It's the one Blue Oyster Cult album that the minute it comes into a store, it's immediately gone. So I picked up a nice copy of this. I think this was like $8 or something. But it's in first class condition. Canadian pressing of Agents of Fortune, of course, Don't Fear the Reaper. So happy to finally find a copy of that and fill in that hole in my collection. And then another album, and you never see this album anywhere here. If you do, on rare occasion, find this album here in Toronto, it's completely trashed. I mean, just trashed. And this one's got a tiny bit of ring wear, but the vinyl's super clean. Slade, and this is my favorite Slade album. Slade, and I used to have this in my collection years ago, and I've been looking for a copy of this forever, and finally found a copy, and I think this was $8 too, something like that. $8, Canadian press, of course, with the classic, you know, Goodbye to Jane, Let the Good Times Roll, Mama We're All Crazy Now. This is just such a great album. Slade and Slade. So I picked those two up at that store, and the last one I picked up at that store is another Duran Duran album, and I jumped on this one. This one cost me $10. It's in near mint condition. You've got the original liner in it, and it's a Dutch pressing of Duran Duran's Notorious. That's right, a Dutch 1986 pressing of Duran Duran's Notorious. A Dutch pressing. So that is very, very, very cool. And so happy to have this nice Dutch pressing of Notorious in my collection. And the last one I picked up there at that one was another album that I see. I had this album back in the day when I was young. And it's my favorite album by Neil Diamond, next to Stones. Probably actually even over Stones is my favorite Neil Diamond album. I used to have this on vinyl, traded it in way back long ago. I have it on CD, and you rarely ever even see this out in the wild, period. And when you do, once again, they are trashed. And I found a really nice copy, and this was actually $10, but worth it. A really nice, it's a reissue. It's a later issue. I'm thinking late 70s, early 80s reissue. But Neil Diamond Gold, live at the Troubadour. This album was fantastic. He just had a 3-piece band with him. Carol Hunter on guitar, Eddie Rubin on drums, and Randy Sterling on bass. And it's such a nice, intimate performance of some great things. And I think the best version of Brother Love's Traveling Salvation Show is on this album. His live version, it's a live album, live at the Troubadour. You got Lordy, you know, Solitary Man on here, Cherry Cherry, Kentucky Woman, Sweet Caroline, and Brother Love's Traveling Salvation Show, and more. My favorite Neil Diamond album, and happy to finally get a really, really clean. I mean, the cover's in fantastic condition. The vinyl's like looks unplayed. Happy to get this back in my collection. A couple more things here that I did pick. I actually went into a Goodwill. No, it wasn't a Goodwill. It was a Value Village. They're like Goodwill in Canada. They're a donation-based store. Value Village in Barrie with my daughter, and I found a couple more CDs, and they were $1 each. So more CDs for the car, $1. Phil Collins hits, can't go wrong. This one, really pleased to find this. This is fantastic. This is Staring at the Sea, the singles collection by The Cure, $1 This is fantastic. This is a fantastic collection. Another fantastic collection, Big Audio Dynamite. That's right, Big Audio Dynamite. Planet Bad Greatest Hits. Planet Bad Greatest Hits by Big Audio Dynamite. Really, really great collection there. That was $1. And last but not least, for people, trance fans and whatnot, EDM fans, a trance artist that I loved back in the day, and this is Delirium and Chimera. That's right, Delirium and Chimera, a really nice spin. It's a 2-disc set. Delirium and Chimera, and this was also $1 at the local Value Village. So those are everything I picked up on my travels up north on my vacation. And then last but not least, today I went to the Fantastic Flea Market and Dixie Records there for their closing day, and I'll insert my little mini vlog, as I entered the store there. I'm going to insert that right now. So here we are at the Dixie Outlet Mall in Mississauga, Ontario, which is on the west side of Toronto proper, the GTA, at the Fantastic Flea Market, which I have brought you guys to before in previous videos, but today is a very special day, and it's kind of a sad day, because this will be my last trip to the Fantastic Flea Market for Dixie Records, owned by the owner Don, as he's closing his business today, at the end of today, July 31st, 2022. After over 30 years of being here in the Fantastic Flea Market, Don is retiring and closing up shop. But Don, it's the end of an era. It's the end of an era. I will miss this flea market greatly. I used to come here at least normally about once a month. Last time I was here was about 3 weeks ago. And I'm going to take you guys on that long walk down to Dixie Records. And we're going to take one last trip to Dixie Records. The last trip ever to Dixie Records here in the flea market. A sad day indeed. Last trip to Dixie Records here in the Fantastic Flea Market. The last trip. And it's all the way at the back here. This place is legendary, and it's going to be strange when Don is gone and Dixie Records is gone. But one last trip to Dixie Records for old time's sake, and to say goodbye to Don after him being in the business for over 30 years. One last trip. There's not going to be much left. This is the last day. The pickings are going to be pretty slim. But I got to say goodbye to Don, and I got to see what's left over. Everything is 50% off. Everything is 50% off.
Good luck or bad luck.
As you can see, not much left.
A couple times a week.
Not much left to go. The last trip to Dixie.
Since she hasn't been feeling very well, I have to
As you can see, not much left.
Yeah.
End of a legacy.
Okay. So, onward and upward. We're going to finish.
End of a legacy.
I'll see you soon.
Yeah. See you, Adam. All the best.
The end of a legacy. And this is the man right here. This is Don right here. He's just say hi, Don.
Hi.
I'm gonna miss you.
Okay.
We're all gonna miss you, Don. We're all gonna miss you so much.
Catching up on our inventories.
This is a sad day. This is a sad day. We are gonna miss you. Desperately. So I'm gonna do a little digging now, guys, and I'll be back and show you guys what I picked up in the last trip ever to Dixie Records. So right there is my last pile I'll ever get from Dixie Records. And I'm just gonna give you guys one last scan as I say goodbye. I said my goodbyes to Don and thanked him for everything for the last 37 years that he's done. Movies, music, vinyl, cassettes, CDs, DVDs, Blu-rays, VHS. He's been here for 37 years. And
all right.
time to go home. So that was just a little snippet. As you can see, the store was shutting down. There wasn't much left. It was pretty emotional, I gotta admit, to say goodbye to Don and thank him for 37 wonderful years of bringing some of the best deals to us media collectors in all of Toronto. And he will be missed. But I just got a couple things there. The pickings were small, but I did pick up a couple things. I picked up a CD. This cost me $5, and the Smiths, Best of the Smiths. So happy to pick that up today. Best of the Smiths, and another one for the car, Olivia, a best of Olivia Newton-John for the car, a best of Olivia, and this was $4. And one that was a dollar record. There was a dollar record in there, and I said, why not? You know, I used to see this in there all the time. It's a pretty common record that was in the flea market, and I never would buy it. But today, just because it was the last day, I said, what the heck? So Roger Daltrey's Best Bits. That's right. His compilation. There are some great tracks on here. You know, Martyrs and Madmen was classic, and Free Me, as well as there was another really good song on here. Treachery, Oceans Away. I can't remember what the other one that I really liked on here, but certainly Free Me and Martyrs and Madmen I loved. So for $1 you can't go wrong. And it was the last piece of vinyl I'll ever get from Dixie Records. And I did get some singles today, and the singles were 25 cents each. That's right, 25 cents each. And I got Crazy for You by Madonna, backed with Berlin's No More Words. And of course this was from the soundtrack to the motion picture Vision Quest. And I actually don't have this Madonna song on vinyl, or I don't even think I have it on CD. So happy to have this little 45 of Crazy for You backed with Berlin's No More Words. Pick that up for 25 cents. I don't know why I got this, but I did for the heck of it. I have a soft spot for Bert Camford and his orchestra. I really do. I think it's because my dad used to always listen to him, so I like me some Bert Camford. And I never saw this one before. It's on Decca Records, and it is Dreaming the Blues and Wonderland by Night, which I do know that song. Wonderland by Night on Decca Records, Bert Camford. Why not for 25 cents? And also for 25 cents, the Hollies, The Air That I Breathe, backed with No More Riders. Why not? 25 cents. And last but not least, a Neil Diamond song. And actually I was glad to find this one because it's the only song I liked on this particular album. And I do really love this song. It was I think mid-70s, 1974, Longfellow Serenade. I always really had a soft spot for that Neil Diamond song, Longfellow Serenade. And it's backed with Rosemary's Wine, and dig the crazy outer sleeve on it. Dig the great crazy outer sleeve. It looks German or something. Is this a German press? Where is this from? It doesn't. Oh, it's made in Holland. Wow, look at that. So it's an import. I didn't even know that till right this second. It's a Holland version of Longfellow Serenade by Neil Diamond for a big 25 cents. And everybody knows I love me my Olivia Newton-John. I found a picture sleeve version of Twist of Fate by Olivia Newton-John, and it's backed with Take a Chance. So Twist of Fate and Take a Chance in a picture sleeve by Olivia Newton-John, 25 cents. So that's everything I got today at the flea market, except for one thing, and that's those 3 record crates behind me, those milk crates right there. We've talked about milk crates before in my room tours. These are 70s milk crates. Don had probably 30 or 40, at least 30 of them in his store that we would crate dig through, and for the last 30 some odd years I have crate dug through those crates there, and he was getting rid of the milk crates today. I could have taken 10 or whatever, but I just took 3. They were $10 a pop, well worth it. So I grabbed 3 of them. That's more than I'll need, and happy to have them. And I will always remember Don's store and Dixie Records every time I dig through my records in those original crates. And I think I just finished washing them. They're out drying right now, but happy to have those milk crates. And each of those hold like 50 records, so I got room for another 150 records in my collection. I love the milk crates. They're great. You can pick them up, carry them around. Super sturdy. And here's a sign that I pulled off of that milk crate, one of the milk crates from his store, as you can see. Attention, the condition of the $2 sale records varies. Please examine. So this was on the record. A little memento from Don's store. And that's it. That's all, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Thumbs up always make people feel good. And if you're not a subscriber to my channel, please subscribe and turn that notification bell on so you get that annoying little ding, ding, ding and pop up on the front of your phone that tells you that AGK dropped another video. And as always, comments welcome down below. I always reply to every comment. And last but not least, follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is at AGK_lifetime of vinyl. So I hope you enjoyed these vinyl finds from my July vacationing and of course the fantastic flea market. And once again, thank you, Don, for 37 years of incredible media. It is a sad day indeed to see you close, but happy retirement. Enjoy your retirement. Thank you for all the wonderful media, vinyl, CDs, movies, everything I bought for you. And thank you for these milk crates. I will crate dig in my own milk crates, and every time I pull a record out, I'll think of you. Thank you. I'll see you guys soon in my next video. And as I always say, rock and roll.